Hey guys, Alex here, Living Life Greg. I haven't posted in a long time. I've been wanting to, but just sort of haven't got around to it. Yeah, it's an interesting start to the year. I was going to post every day, and me being me, just haven't got there. So I just want to share with you guys a bit of reality for me, which is living life with ADHD and all the highs and lows that come with that. Um, yeah, it can be pretty difficult. It's pretty hard on the mind. The mind's racing all the time. You're always coming and going with ideas. For me, man, I'm full on with ideas, and every idea I get, I think it's the best idea ever, and then I go full on into it, and then generally I don't finish any of it. So yeah, it's a bit of a drag. Can be a bit debilitating. I have learned to cope with it a lot over the years, and have learned not to sort of stop myself, because if I stop myself, it's worse generally. Yeah, so bit of a tough one to deal with. Like, one example is I'm doing my skipper's license at the moment, commercial skipper's ticket, and so it started with. This is how it all went down. It was pretty crazy, really. Because I've got my yacht and that, and so we want to do some more around that, do some more travel in that, and so I was like, okay, maybe I'll get a job at Burnsco, and I'll sell yacht parts or whatever, boat parts, so I can get cheap parts, for fixing up my boat and stuff. And so I went down that road, and then I was kind of looking at like options for other courses and stuff like that. I was looking online for jobs, and then I seen deckhand jobs, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe I could do deckhand. And then I was like, because of how I am as a person, I like to sort of be in control of the situation as such. I've never been that great with working for people or anything like that. I've always been self-employed most of my life since I was 19, and yeah, so it's one of those things. Anyway, I'm trailing off already. So so I done that, and then I looked at deckhands and stuff like that, and then I was like, oh, maybe I should be a skipper. And then next thing you know, I'm enrolled and I'm doing my skipper restricted limits course, and then now I'm X amount through that, and I've been through the course once, and then now I'm struggling to keep motivation on that, because of a few factors. Because I got on a commercial boat and I done a little bit of that, and then that boat went up north. They were just down in Auckland for a little while, and then so basically then it just, ever since that boat's gone up there, and because I had that job and I was doing the sea hours, then I haven't been able to find another one, and then so like all my motivations is going back, and just going in reverse as I do. So yeah, it's a tough one, ADHD. It's something I only have found out later in life. Like, I've spent my whole life manic as fuck, like out the gate, always just rush, doing this, doing that, all over the show. So, and I never knew why. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going nuts. I've struggled my whole life, and never knew why. And the funny thing was, I said to myself, right, like when I was going through those depressive moments, all these like, ultra manic-y sort of depressive moments, I was like, just make it till 40, and you'll be all right, So I've always told myself throughout my life, just get through, you'll be all right, you'll be all right. And then now I've reached 40, and then, and then I'm still the same, and it's kind of like, and I've got a family now, and a wife, and my daughter, and there's nowhere to hide, and I used to drink most of my life, and I think that masked a lot of stuff, and I could blame it on alcohol, and I could blame it on this and do this, and da 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 da. And now there's nowhere to hide, like yeah. I'm a 40-year-old man who, I mean, we all have, issues. Yeah, everyone does. With like making life decisions and stuff like that. But for me, it manifests as in, you know, I can have 6 different ideas in a day on what I think I should be doing, and all of them are great. But I can't just do one. I've got to do 5 things, and then I don't finish 5 things. So it gets out of control. It's all a bit out of hand. And so the funny thing was as well is I went to Mental Health New Zealand myself and tried to I've been trying to find out what's wrong with me for a long time, and it took a lot of research, taking some antidepressants at a stage, doing these different things to actually, for me to find out what's wrong with me, and going down the wrong road many times. And then when I reached the point of ADHD, and looking into that, ADHD and OCD and like PTSD as well, yeah, it just fit. It was what I was. So yeah, interesting. How these things go, and the problem is it gets worse as you get older. So when you're young and you're blasé, like whatever, the thoughts and the thing, you just sort of pawn it off, no worries. But as you get older and you're a bit more what's the word? I don't know, your responsibilities change, and expectation of, I should be this, or I should be doing this by now, da da da, as we all have to deal with expectation these days, where someone posts some photo of them smiling on Facebook, and it's, half the time it's fake. People can sit there and post all they want, but they might be miserable as soon as that photo's over. I mean, I get it all the time where my wife's like, oh, let's have a photo, and you're like, yeah, and then you're like, fuck, piss off, I can't be fucked dealing with this. Or, she tries to go for a second photo, and you're like, no, fuck off, I'm done, like, fucking, we had our one photo, fucking over it. And it's not that you're not happy, it's just that it's staged, there's so much staged bullshit these days in the world, and fake, staged and fake, it's not real, it's just a thumbnail, it's bullshit, yeah, so just fucking, yeah, life's an interesting one. Yeah, I want to get through it, I want to move forward, but I'm still struggling even now, like, how am I going to be happy? What have I got to do to be happy? What's going to make me happy, and how you go about all that. It's really tough, and then see, even like doing these videos, I used to enjoy it, but now I'm like scared of it, like I'm in my car doing it now, because I don't want my wife hearing me say it, and so like the public side of it's gone, where I used to be more comfortable talking. I'm a lot more withdrawn these days, and the thought of doing any videos in public or anything like that, it's hard, and I spent most of my life being quite boisterous and free thinking. Well, I'm still pretty free thinking, but not caring, and being able to do whatever, and then now I just find myself a lot more withdrawn, and like even when I'm talking to friends and stuff, like I'm there, but I'm not engaged, I'm very much withdrawn, I'm withdrawn from the conversation, I struggle to actually engage these days. I think some of my best times now with my daughter, when we go swimming and stuff like that. And see, my daughter's autistic as well, or ADHD, I mean, she's diagnosed autistic, and she certainly has those traits, but she's also completely full on, so probably ADHD or something in there as well, but they can't diagnose that till she's a bit older, although she's probably at that age now. I think they said about 4 onwards, so So yeah, probably can go down that road with her now, but I don't want to go down medication road. I think it's and same for me, like this is the thing I'm going through all the time is do I medicate, do I don't, or do I not? Because it's just it masks it, and but does it deal with it? And but there is no dealing with it. Like all the research I've done, there is no dealing with it as such. There's coping certain mechanisms, maybe meditation, maybe all these there's things. Diet is one, and which I struggle with, because I can be really good for a month, let's say, and I'm doing fasting and I'm eating well, and then I just switch back, so I've spent my whole life just fat, skinny-ish, because I I when I'm in hyper focus mode and I have a thought pattern that allows me to do something, all right, I'm into it 100%, like whatever it may be, 100% just full on into it, but then as soon as I reach that point where something either triggers in me or something happens where I'm over it, then I'm over it, and it's really hard to come back from that, and to find that inspiration again. So it's a struggle, and it's something I'd like to learn to deal with a bit better. Although I do want to learn to deal with it better, but I also am quite accepting of my condition, and I live with it and I deal with it as you've got no fucking choice to do. But just sometimes, like, I'm learning more sleep helps with the manicness. Like this morning, I got woken up early, and then I couldn't get back to sleep, and then it creates like a overbearing thought pattern, like especially trying to go back to sleep, because once I was kind of awoken properly, like and I was like, no, I got to go back to sleep, because I know that if I don't get enough sleep, I'll feel like shit. But then as soon as I close my eyes, I'm getting like all this like just racing sort of like visions of like, of nothing, like a frog jumping or just like out the gate, like just the brain's just like, yeah. So it's pretty, I don't know, pretty annoying, especially when you actually want to sleep, but you can't. I sleep well I don't sleep till late at night, but I generally fall asleep well when I fall asleep. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how all these things go. Is mummy going to work? But my mum lives next door over there on my place. What else? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I'd share what's going on and why I am the way I am. It's the same with when I was doing all those chili eating stuff. I was on a big chili buzz, and I was like, yeah, I can do whatever I can, until I ate Carolina Reapers a few times, like proper just raw ones. I was like, oh my God, and then instantly, I kind of stopped eating chili, because in my head, I could do anything, until I can't, until reality sets in, yeah, so tough pill, the old ADHD. It's very debilitating. It's quite hard to handle, and the OCD side of it as well. There's a lot of times where you just think you're going nuts, but you're not. It's just your thought pattern, and it's different to others. Other people can process things and stick in a straight line. Like I look at people that, and sorry if you're one of them, but I look at people that stay in the same job their whole lives or work in a factory or data, but they do it. And whilst um, uh, I'm envious in a way that people can do it, but I just can't. Like it just the thought of that repetitiveness just drives me insane. And it's the same even for me now. Is I hate repetitiveness. Like if I have to go driving, like say with work previously or whatever, I had to drive a truck back and forth to the same location or something. I just can't do it. Like it, my brain just starts just can't process it. Like it's the same even with us learning to sail and stuff. I want to be going somewhere and not returning. Like the idea of going out and then coming back in and going out I find it really hard to compute. Like it seems pointless. And so I get a lot of that. Like I'm a certifying drain layer, good operator. I mean, I was good at what I done, but the repetitiveness of it these days just makes it unbearable. I can't mentally cope with it most of the time. It just becomes a real drag, and I can't see the end. I don't have that long distance sort of plan. Like I need instant gratification. I need whatever I'm doing to fulfill me right now, rather than doing something that's going to fulfill me in 5 years' time. Like all that long-term gratification, is really a hard one for me. It's really wanting the instant sort of gratification. You can see it shaking here, like doing my leg, shaking my leg as I go. Yeah, for me, I really want to go do. I just want to travel. I want to travel the world. I love meeting new people because every time you meet someone new, I'm not repeating my stories and I'm hearing new stories. So it really suits my type of personality. It's really hard having conversations and having repeat conversations, because I'm aware of it. Like I can talk to people and we're all talking the same stuff that we've talked a zillion times over, which is good because I mean it's your friends or whatever, but it's not stimulating. So I guess I crave that stimulation, and to be able to, I don't know, get something out of it. Like I'm always looking for a high, in a way. I don't know. Fucking hell. She's a tough one. But anyway, it's been nice to come on here and have a bit of a chat, whether you watched it or not. It's all good. At the end of the day, it's nice to offload a bit. It's nice to be back online. It's actually nice to sit here and do this. Feels good. It feels good, and it's something I want to do more of. We actually do quite a bit in our lives, and I want to do more, and I want to share more of what we do. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you got this far, I doubt it, but anyway, thank you anyway. Yes, as I said, it's nice to be back. It's nice to have a rave and give you a different perspective on the reality of ADHD, OCD, PTSD, and all its quirks and everything like that. So yeah. Anyway, have a good one.